Good evening. Welcome to This Week in Review. Tonight's stories include...
Studio once again, Mr. Gilbert.
Well, thank you, David. I see you
started when that the
MHA for Burgeo Bay Despair, Honourable Dave Gilbert, was in town yesterday for the Fireman's Ball. He came by for a short interview.
Welcome back to our studio once again, Mr. Gilbert.
Well, thank you, David. I see you've got some changes made since I was here the last time, even in, 3 weeks ago or a month. You've got nice new furniture and coffee tables and all that. It's sort of an inviting place to be now. You don't want to get too comfortable. You might want to be here all the time. I know since I've been here, though, that you've had a successful telethon. I was sort of glad that I was able to take part in it, even though I wasn't here. I was able to arrange, I suppose, to get the license so you could have the bingo, and I sent my good wishes on tape, and I was talking to Claude yesterday, and Claude tells me that it was successful, and you got somewhere in the vicinity of $9,400, so good show. And again, you know, I say to the people of Burgeo, you recognize a good thing when you got it, and Burgeo broadcasting is really a good thing, and like anything, the only way that it can last and succeed is if the people who use it are prepared to support it. So as the MHA for the district, I certainly thank you for the support that you're giving Burgeo broadcasting. Keep up the good work.
Okay, Mr. Gilbert, and on behalf of BBS, I would like to thank you for your message of support, which you taped and sent us. Gilbert, in your campaign promises when you were elected at the last election, you promised that the Burgeo Road would be completed by the year 91.
I'd like to call it campaign promises. As I drive in over the road now, David, I think that the commitments that I made to the people of Burgeo are being fulfilled, and since in the 2 short years that we have been in government, I've seen an awful improvement in the road. We have just called a contract to complete the 11 kilometers of road that was upgraded last year, and we are going to upgrade the 19 or 20 kilometers that have to be ready for pavement next year. And in order to pave it, I suppose if I really wanted to be brash and waste the taxpayers' money, I could say, yes, I can pave it in 91, but by doing that, I would be wasting the taxpayers' money, of which all of us pay, you and everybody else in Burgeo, and the pavement would possibly have to be replaced in a couple of years' time. You wouldn't want me to do that now, would you?
How do you feel about Seafreeze's proposal to install electric cutters at the Burgeo Fish Farm?
Well, really, I don't know much about the proposal other than the fact that I talked to Mr. Cooper, the president of the union. I was talking to Ron, and Ron was rather upset about it when I was talking to him, and pointed out that there was an impending loss of jobs if the equipment was installed. Now, I don't know. I responded to it from the point of view that the same day that I was talking to Ron, I saw an article appeared in the Evening Telegram in St. John's, which said that the people in Canso were cheering and shouting in the streets because Seafreeze had just hired an additional 100 workers in Canso. And I hope from the bottom of my heart, for the people of Burgeo and for me as the MHA, that Seafreeze are going to live up to the commitment that they made to the people of Burgeo when they took over the plant from National Sea, and that is to guarantee the 330 jobs, or whatever the figure was, for the period of time that they said they would be doing it. And this is my only concern. I wish Seafreeze the best of luck. I hope that they meet the commitments they made to the people of Burgeo. If they do, all of us will be cheering in the streets in Burgeo too, not only in Canso. And this is my concern right now. you know, when I had a call from the union who were concerned about the fact of the loss of jobs, naturally my first reaction was to respond and call on Seafreeze to live up to the commitments that they made to the people of Burgeo. Now, since that time, I have talked to the Minister of Fisheries, Mr. Carter, and his people were having a meeting with Mr. Barry and Mr. Sullivan of Seafreeze last Friday, and I tried to get hold to Mr. Carter yesterday in the afternoon to see what was the results of that meeting, you know, what sort of information, or if there was anything that he could make public as a result of that meeting with the Seafreeze people. And I didn't, so I'm hoping that within the next week to 10 days that I will know what happened as a result of that meeting, and I hope that it was good news that Mr. Barry and Mr. Sullivan were able to tell our Provincial Department of Fisheries. In a very short telephone conversation I had with Mr. Crosby, and it was concerning our roads deal, the Roads for Rails deal that we're in the process of signing the final agreement now, which will take us until 1996. I congratulated Mr. Crosby on being appointed Minister of Fisheries. I expressed the concern that I had about the Seafreeze deal, and he told me that he would be having meetings very shortly with Mr. Blaze and Mr. Barry to see what was their intention in their overall plan. So I will be following him, and I will be, as the MHA for the district, of course I will be following Mr. Carter very closely in provincial fisheries, but I will also be following Mr. Crosby to ensure that he is constantly aware of if there is any serious concerns that are expressed by the people of Burgeo, and to ensure that the commitments that were made to the people when the Seafreeze deal was put together, and as I say, the commitments that were made to the people of Burgeo are fulfilled. And that is my job as the MHA, I would say, to ensure that I express the concerns that are passed on to me by the people of Burgeo concerning the Seafreeze deal.
Do you know when the tender call will be called for the new hospital?
Not any more than I did the last time. When we were here, I guess the Minister of Health told you that the engineering study was in the final process of being completed. I would imagine that the tender call should be made within the next 2 months. As soon as the engineering plans are ready, we have to call it. We have $1.5 million that's committed in this year's budget to be spent. So I would hope that I would like to see the tender awarded by August, so that work is able to commence this fall. Because as I said, we have $1.5 million that we're hoping to spend this year to start it. And the quicker we get to start it, the sooner it'll be finished, and that'll make us all happy, won't it?
Okay, Mr. Gilbert, is there anything else you would like to add?
No, I don't think so, David. I'm just again glad to be back in Burgeo. I'm here tonight, tonight. When is this going to be taped, by the way? It's on Sunday. It's Sunday that'll be played. Well, in that case, tonight, now Saturday night, I'm going to the Fireman's Ball, and Anne and I are here. We were invited to that. I'm very happy to be able to attend the Fireman's Ball, and to again thank them as the member for the district for the service that they're performing for the community. I was very happy this year to see that the provincial government, in their wisdom, was able to see fit to provide a new fire truck for Burgeo, which which the fire department will be taking delivery of, I would say, within the next month or so. That makes me feel very good to see that we have a new fire truck here. I again would like to take this opportunity to salute publicly the volunteer firemen of Burgeo, and for the job that they're doing, because I'm sure that everybody is aware, with the tight budget conditions that we have, if we as a provincial government had to provide firefighting service to Burgeo and all the other towns in Newfoundland, it would be virtually impossible with the way that funding is right now. So I think that we owe a grave debt to the people who volunteer to become firemen, because it is the one volunteer organization in the community that when a person volunteers for to be a fireman, he realizes that the time might come that he might be called upon to put his life on the line in order to provide the service that he is guaranteeing to the citizens of the town that he serves. And in this case, I'm very happy that my wife and myself are going to the Firemen's Ball tonight, and to express on behalf of all the people of Burgeo the thanks for the job that the volunteer firemen are doing in this town.
So have you had a chance to view the new fire hall yet?
Not this time, but I have viewed it, a few months ago. But I'm looking forward. I would imagine when the new truck arrives, I'll get a chance to have a look at it and see will they be there for the appropriate time.
Well, I think you'll be quite impressed with the voluntary hours that we put into that building as well.
Well, that's the thing, and people don't realize when we look at the towns in rural Newfoundland, the amount of volunteer work that's gone in, that goes in by the citizens to make the towns as good a places to live in as they are, and it's we don't really, we take so much for granted, and then you realize that the citizens who live in the towns in rural Newfoundland do contribute by the volunteer, not only for the fire department, but the volunteer labor that they put in various things, the service clubs like your Lions clubs, and the church groups that volunteer and do such good work. I guess the next time I'll be back in Burgeo is the church are having a dinner on the 31st of May to it's an anniversary dinner, as I understand, and to thank the people who have been working in that organization for a while. So again, we don't realize how lucky we are until you sit down and count your blessings and realize that we have people that live in this community are so willing to give their time to make it a better place for us all to live in.
Okay, Mr. Gilbert, well, thanks for talking to us.
Thank you very much, Dave.
Speech night at St. John Central High was held on Monday night.
And this is awarded to the student at SJCH who received his second highest marks in the graduating class in English. In the second highest marks in the graduating class. It's awarded to Desmond Pink, 86.5% average. The grade 12 first place scholarship is valued at $200. It's sponsored by Seafreeze Foods Incorporated. It's presented by Mr. Chalk, Principal. It's awarded to the student at SJCH who received the highest overall average in the graduating class. And it's awarded to Linda Donovan, an average of 86.7%. I don't think there's anyone here representing Linda. Okay, there's two other scholarships. The Calder Scholarship was not awarded last year. That's valued at $500. It's awarded by the town of Burgeo. And no one applied for that, so it wasn't awarded. And the winner of the Himmel Morgan University Entrance Scholarship last year was Darrell Skinner. That's been presented, of course. And the National Sea Scholarship, no one applied for that, so there were no winners. And we'd like to mention the names of Desmond Pink and David Spencer, who won the Electoral District Scholarship. Our next scholarship is a Most Improved Scholarship. It's valued at $250. And this scholarship is awarded to a student or students at SJCH who has shown a high degree of improvement over the year and has exhibited good work habits and a positive attitude towards school. It is not necessarily awarded to the student who has the highest marks, although it may if that student has improved to the point where he or she now has the highest average in that class or school. So this award is not necessarily based on academic ability alone, but rather on how a student makes use of his or her natural abilities. To win this scholarship, a student must show a genuine desire to achieve, and he or she must be working towards that goal with a positive attitude and to his or her fullest potential. Our sponsor for this scholarship is SJCH Holding Limited, and the scholarship proceeding will be presented by Ms. Tina Iscott. And this year's winners are Tina deserves this one. We have two winners this year, and one is a grade 8 student, and it's Danny McDonald. And we awarded it also to a level 3 student. And the winner is Melody Grant. We would at this time like to give honorable mention to the following former students of St. John's St. Croix. Derek Mercer. Derek received the Newfoundland Forest Protection Association Award of $500. He is presently a Forest Resource Technology 1 student at Fisher Institute of Applied Arts and Technology in Cornbrook. Jeffrey Spencer will receive the Iris and Room Supply Limited Award of Tools, valued at $250, and an electronic multimeter valued at $100. He is a construction industrial electrical student at Fisher Institute. I'd also like to acknowledge Bonita Clogger, who was a winner of the Scott Memorial Scholarship, and Bonita was attending Memorial University at St. John's. And also David Spencer, who was named to the Principal's Honor List at Sir Walford Grenfell College in Cornerbrook in recognition of his outstanding academic achievement in the fall 1990 examinations. And we would also like to acknowledge a present student, graduate, Tanya Wells. Tanya was named as the winner of the M.O. Morgan Entrance Scholarship for Memorial University for September 1991. The value of the scholarship is $1,000. She was one of 6 selected in the district. We have some trophies there now that we'll present. They're presented by Brenda Small. Students, it's honorable mention to Tammy Donovan, who won the scholarship for $400 at the School of Fine Arts in Sir Walford Grenfell College in Cornbrook. Okay, the trophies then, for the Irish academic achievements, 7 to 12. Grade 7, the winner was Murray Milburn. They don't keep the trophies, they get their name on a plaque. In grade 8, the winner was Mandy Cosser. In grade 9, the winner is Pierre Gilbert. In grade 10, the winner is Angela Cho. In grade 11, the winner is Lynn Rose. In grade 12, the winner is Linda Donovan, but there's no one there to pick that up. And the Rich Wibb Memorial Trophy, which is the big one that's there under this, the winner of that was Linda Donovan.
A service of divine worship commemorating Battle of the Atlantic and an observance of the 46th anniversary of VE Day, May 8, 1945, marking the end of hostilities in the European theater of World War II, was held at Faith United Church this morning.
What I would ask you to remember as you go through life is that there are plenty of guidelines for you. There are plenty of areas in which you can find guidance, which you can find direction. You may sometimes think that your parents are squares. They're weirdos. They're way out in left field. But remember, and this is one thing I always find about young people, you know. Young people are not afraid of going old, but they do seem to forget that those of us who are older were once young. Can you imagine me, 12, 13, 14 years old, 16 years old? Whoop-de-doo. Well, I was at one time, as you know. But when you reach a certain age, of course, it's difficult for those who are looking at you to realize that you were ever anything but where you are and the age you are. But just remember that. We were all young. We grew through the same things that you were going through. We had the same types of temptations. Now, I will admit, and I say this in all sincerity, that the temptations, the peer pressures and so on that you young people have on you today are vastly, vastly greater than we had in our day. Although, at that time, we would have said that we were in the worst possible situation trying to grow up in the world that we grew up in. But I realize and I admit, and I give you credit, those of you who are refraining from being led by a temptation into doing things that you know within your own heart are not right, I give you credit that you are avoiding these things. And I trust that those of you who may not be will give some very, very serious thought to the implications of some of the things that you might be involved in and draw away from these things. As I was saying, you have plenty of guidance. You have your family. You have your church. You have your Bible. You have Jesus Christ. You have God. And all these things are there for your benefit. And these are benefits that you cannot earn. You know, we could never do amount in a million lifetimes to earn the love of God and the great things that He gives us, the gifts, the blessings. Well, if you are prepared to take the Bible as your compass, the church as your navigator, and Jesus Christ as your pilot, then you cannot possibly go wrong, and you will never stray.
Tenders for the Burgeo Road were called this past week. Lundergans have moved in some of their equipment. They are blasting a pit just in past Wooden-Telt Brook for the construction on this end of the Burgeo Road. Work should be starting on both ends of the road. The following are items and issues discussed at a Town Council meeting on May 1st, 1991. Work is progressing well on the Smalls Island project. Council feels that many of the concerns expressed by the residents regarding oil and grocery deliveries plus garbage collection have been addressed with very little inconveniences. Site work and road construction is also progressing well on Phase 1 of the incinerator site. Council has been informed that site plans and building plans are presently being worked on for the new hospital. A tentative date for tender call for the beginning of this project is probably July or August. Council is still working on obtaining the services of a dentist, even if only on a part-time basis. Town manager is expected to have an additional information regarding this by the end of the month, following an hospital board meeting in Corner Brook. Council is preparing to borrow the amount of $125,000 to make the necessary improvements to our present water system. This would include improvements to the reservoir, the chlorine house, and also road improvements to the dam. Mr. Don Matthews, engineer with the Department of Transportation, was in town recently to finalize plans for repaving, etc. of the town streets. Council is still awaiting approval, but no capital works projects have been yet announced. Mr. Lyle Russell, a Stephenville businessman, plans to submit his hotel proposal to the council very soon. This project is contingent upon the government funding which has yet to be approved. Most of the other governmental departments have supported the project. Mr. Russell is presently seeking approval from the Department of Environment. Building Committee. Permission was granted to 2 individuals to construct fishing stages. Approval was given to an individual to construct an extension to his storehouse. Permission was also granted to an individual to construct a shed on his own wharf. Cleanup Week. Council has declared May 12th to the 18th as Cleanup Week. We are encouraging all citizens to get into the act of cleaning up around their own property. Any group or organization that would like to help during this cleanup can obtain garbage bags at the town office. Town workers and equipment will be available during this period to pick up all garbage left by the roadsides. Also, Council will remove free of charge for this week only all car wrecks, etc. Please advise Council of any bulky garbage such as old Chesterfields, fridges, etc. to make arrangements for their disposal by calling the town office at 886-2250. A fire hall committee comprising of several councillors and firemen is expected to be set up shortly to initiate rules and regulations regarding the use of the new fire hall. Mayor McDonald has expressed an interest in participating in another March for Health this year. He will probably be giving more details regarding this event at a later date. Council recently donated $50 to the RCSCC Bob Bartlett Sea Cadet Corps as a contribution to their annual inspection. Council is presently in the progress of beginning payments to Fleet Services towards the new fire truck, which is expected to be delivered later this summer. Council recently received a request from the Burgeo Men's Softball League requesting the payment for over $600 to effect necessary repairs to the ball field property caused by Department of Transportation snow clearing equipment this past winter. Town manager informed Council that the town has never been involved with this property, nor has it ever budgeted for the same. This property has been under the jurisdiction of the Burgeo Lions Club since its establishment. Therefore, not being municipal property, Council did not comply with this request. For anyone who might have wondered any possible use of the Smalls Island Bridge once it was dismantled, engineers informed the town manager that it was beyond any possible repairs and could serve no use elsewhere. The BBS telethon held last Sunday was a great success. A total of $9,387 was pledged, donated, or raised through our $1,000 bingo. We were more than pleased with the results of our telethon. We raised a total of $9,387. This money will be used to purchase a photocopier, a signal level meter, a new camcorder, which is pictured here, which we expect to arrive in the near future, and our studio furniture, which we already have. Community events. The Lioness will be having a TV bingo in aid of the Pathfinders on Wednesday, May 8th at 7 p.m. Cards are $1 each or 6 for $5. Please support the Pathfinders and play TV bingo. All minor hockey players who have not returned their hockey sweaters are asked to do so as soon as possible. You will not receive your medallion if your sweater is not returned. The Guide movement will be having another Run for Light on May 27th. Contact persons for the following groups are Ernest Green, Lions; Joan Sutton, Lioness; Kim Randall, Wolf Cubs; Joan Ball, Burnett's; Patricia Sims, Sunbeams; Ruth Tucker, Monday Night Beavers; Glenn Han, Tuesday Night Beavers; Robert Sims, Fire Brigade; Alice Kosser, Handicap Association. Anyone from the general public interested in ordering a light stick, please contact Linda Pink at 886-2802. All orders must be in by May 12th. The driving examiner will be in town on Wednesday, May 8th, weather permitting. BBS will be taping the season finale of The Bandwagon on May 13th and 14th. If you haven't appeared on The Bandwagon before but would like to do so, please give me a call at 886-2935. I'll be calling our regulars throughout next week. Well, that's it for this week. Please stay tuned now for 2 hours and 20 minutes, packed full of entertainment. This was filmed for our telethon last week. On behalf of BBS and the BBS volunteers, I'm Dave Cooper. Have a great week. Good night.